Hey guys, today we've got a battle of arguably the top 3 Arnold Terminator bust out there. If you want to see which one comes up on top, stick around. All right, let's do this showdown between the original T-800 Arnold Queen Studios did 6-7 years back, and this new clean version Arnold that they did. Now, the obvious differences is they went way more elaborate on the base on the new one. They also went with more of a half torso style, even though it doesn't have 2 full arms, it does have 1 full arm. And pretty much it has the full half torso, which also really adds to the realism of the piece. And of course, the third major design difference is this is a clean version versus the other one is the battle damage version that you see towards the end of the movie. Now, with those differences aside, let's just kind of get into what I kind of see as the differences between what they did really in the facial areas of the bust versus between the 2 different versions. Now, one thing you can see right away is just the skin tone. The skin tone on the newer one, much more lighter. My camera is not picking it up as well as it's seeing in person, but there's a lot of subtle color differences that really brings the realism out on the new one. It definitely looks like a real person in front of you. The old one does look really good also, but definitely much more tan. And I did kind of go back and look at the movie. He did look a little tanner, and it could be also lighting of the scenes in the end of the movie versus what he looked like in the first part of the movie. But yeah, obviously in the bust, there's definitely a bigger skin tone difference, and he's probably a little too tan in the original one, if I'm going to be honest with things. Now, another thing I noticed that was a pretty big difference is in this neck area. Now, regardless of the battle damage that they got on this one, but you can see there's a big fat vein here. Another fat vein going through here. And even on his forehead, you know, there's a vein bulging out. Whereas this one, I mean, you can see maybe a little subtle veinage there, but you really don't see anything in the neck area. Now, you can argue that at this version, just like a human, someone that's in the kind of shape that Arnold's in, when you're really stressing your muscles, your veins start popping out. So of course, at this stage, he really was straining himself. So you can argue that's why his veins are kind of popping out there. Whereas this version is totally clean. He doesn't even have any bullet holes in them. So, you know, that may have been part of the design work. I can probably argue maybe there should have been a little light veinage in his neck, just like they did there. But on the battle damage, it's obvious. You definitely see the veinage going on. Now, another thing that I noticed is they did make the jawline a little different between the two. I don't know if it's picking it up in the camera as much, Where this one to me looks like it's coming out a little bit more. Maybe a little more bumps and stuff in that one, where this one seems to be a little more squeezed in. And I actually think, you know, this is probably a good correction, because when I look at this and I look at it from all different angles, especially with those sunglasses on, man, I just see Arnold 100%. And you can see just all the different bone structure he's got going on in his jawline. I've seen a lot of talented creators, and Arnold's been done so many different times, but a lot of times he looks a little off. So, you know, I think they while this one looks really good, I think they even perfected it a little bit more in the newer one. Hair-wise, now I've seen actually people with different T-800s where their hair is kind of, boy, it goes all the way from pretty much being dark to a light brown. I would say mine's a light brown. And I would say this one's probably a medium to light brown. The eyebrow work. So they look slightly bushier in the new one. The eyeball looks good in this one, but it looks really good in this one. I mean, this one definitely looks real, but this one just looks like it's a little bit higher quality. It's probably about the highest quality fake eyeball that you can get, I would imagine, is what they put in here. Now, don't get me wrong, this one does look super good, and the one thing it's got going for it is the battle damage itself. Let me go ahead and turn on the light up feature here. Here it is with the light up on, and how cool is that? So you can see all the various battle damage that they built into to this bust. So yeah, it's one big advantage it has over the newer one. Having a battle damaged Arnold is, you know, it's so cool looking to see Arnold here, but yet to see all the detail and the T-800 underneath, and all the gore and the battle damage on it. I mean, in a perfect world, and I'm very fortunate enough to have both, you would want both. Kind of have this clean look, what Arnold looked like pretty much the first third of the movie, and then have this this battle damage look. Now, if I had to pick one, even though I really love the battle damage, I probably would go with this this new Arnold. I think the changes that they made on the face sculpture just to make it even look more like Arnold. I think the realism that they put into the skin work and just the various other areas of the bust just makes it look so much realer. And I really like that they went with the half torso, which also gives that that realism effect. I mean, when people walk down there here and they see this, they're like, whoa, that looks super lifelike, like it can just start moving on you. So while I love the battle damage version, I mean, in fact, if this battle damage version was upgraded and had more of a half torso look, and maybe they added, you know, the little subtle details that they did to the sculpt, I definitely would go with the battle damage version. But luckily enough, I'm able to have them both. But yeah, that's kind of the comparison that I noticed with these two. Let me know your guys' thoughts. And I'll go ahead and wheel Arnold a little closer to this Dark Fate one, and we'll do a comparison on that one. Here is the comparison between the Infinity Studios Dark Fate Arnold and the new Queen Studios Clean T2 Arnold. Now, these are both half torso style pieces. They both don't have, they only each have one arm instead of having both arms. Which I've talked in other videos. I think it was a good design choice. But the obvious difference is, one, the age. So I believe Arnold was about 30 years older when he did Dark Fate. So of course he's gonna look a ton older in this version. And this version's also a battle damage version compared to this being a clean version. Now base wise, Queen Studios went all out on this base with the storytelling base, having the endoskeleton there, the little Arnold when he first came in. And then, I'm not gonna show it, but on the back, it's got the scene of him being dropped into the liquid metal that you saw at the end of the movie. But Infinity Studios base is no slouch either. It's a pretty cool looking design. Just a lot of, I guess, parts that you would see within a T-800 sticking out. So, while it's not near as elaborate, I still like the base itself. Now the body sculpts, I think they both do an excellent job kind of showing the size of Arnold. I think Arnold's about 6'2", but you know, very huge guy. Even at this age, Arnold's still a pretty big guy. So I think they both did an excellent job on the sculpt. Now, this hand that's on this T-800 from Queen Studios is one of the best hands I've ever seen. It looks very real. It's got the fingerprints, of course, even has hair on the knuckles. Turn this a little bit, you can see it better. But yeah, it's even got excellent veining. So the hand, really good job that Queen Studios done on this one. Now, of course, on this one, they've had the full endoskeleton hand, which is really, really cool. Now, my detailed review, they did not nail what this hand should look like. It's like elongated. It's more like a, to me, it looks like more like an 8-foot skinny basketball player's hand versus the way it should look, which I can go over here a little bit. Yeah, that's the way it should look. So I did knock it for that. Should have been a little bit more accurate, but it still looks really good. Now, another complaint I had is the rest of the arm. You can see this battle damage here, but it's not silicone. And you can tell. It looks decent for resin and the battle damage that they put there, but there's definitely a noticeable difference between that and what you see on the silicone. So I do knock Infinity Studios. They really should have had this part also silicone and as lifelike as the face sculpt. Same with the body. You can tell it's kind of the same, painted the same way. So while there's battle damage there, they definitely could have made this silicone and made it look even more real. And of course, this is the clean version. So, I mean, I give it props that this one has an endo arm. That adds to the coolness factor. But this is also very cool looking the way he's holding that shotgun. And they just, they made that arm look as real as the head sculpt itself. And then when we go to the head sculpt, I guess we can start with the neck here. And you can see some battle damage in there. You can see a little bit of veining. Looks very real. Just one complaint, they could have added a little subtle veinage in here. Looks real, but you don't really see the veinage. They probably should add it a little bit. One thing I do notice, while this one looks, the skin tone looks really real, it's more pinkish compared to this one. And if I was going to choose between the two, I would choose this one. This one looks good, but it does have a little bit of a pinkish look to it. And another thing I noticed, the lips are not done as well. These almost look a little purplish. And these just look real. I mean, they really nailed it there. And if someone showed me a picture of this, I definitely think that's 100% real. Whereas this one, I can tell that it's, that they just didn't quite get the tone quite right. The eyes look good here, but they look even better on this one. So I think these are high quality. They're just not the highest high quality. They're good, really good, and I would label those as great. Now this one does have a cool light up feature though. So that is cool, and that's part of the movie too. Towards the end when he was battle damaged like this, the one eye was glowing. So that's a very neat effect. And of course this one also has battle damage. Now the hair work, I think they're both done equally well. This hair looks 100% real. It's thick. It came that way styled. It was styled nice. And I can say the same with this one. Eyebrows may look a little even bushier on the side, but I think he did. As you get a little older, your eyebrows do get a little more bushy. So all in all, I'm really happy to have both pieces in the collection. I do definitely give the nod though to the Queen Studios piece. It's just a little more finely tuned than the Infinity Studios. I think they nailed it in a lot more areas. While this one, there's areas that they definitely could have improved on. Still looks great, still highly recommend. But all in all, I would definitely go with the T2 Queen Studios Arnold. While I had Arnold on the review card, I thought I'd wheel him close to a couple other busts that are also done really well. We got this Queen Studios Captain America, which they also did half torso wise, which is done really well. I'll go ahead and set him next to Iron Man here too. And as a little bonus, this is how he looks in front of this Iron Man that kind of went a little viral in the collectors groups where a lot of people thought it was a fake product, but indeed it was real, and it's also done really well. by some company that called themselves the No Name Company. But anyhow, that's how this duo looks. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching another video. I'm a huge fan of home theater and these movie replica props. I'm going to put out a couple of videos each week in those areas. And if you're a huge fan like I am, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.